Last week, I purchased this Kawasaki ZX12R from a subscriber, and in the last video, we brought it home and managed to get it started. And you guys really seem to enjoy this one.
And today, we're finally stripping the bike apart. Let's get on to it. First, I'm gonna have to start off by taking the side fairing and the front fairing because we have some damage right here where the bike is dropped. Focus, there we are. So we're gonna have to take that off and take that off. So let's get some tools and get cracking.
I'm starting off with these three fasteners on the side of the fairing. Then removing the plastic rivet screws. And then lastly, moving on to the main bolt on the side of the fairing and the other one located right by the exhaust.
Honestly, I don't understand why they would put a bolt right on the bottom. So you have to get a different type of screwdriver or a ratchet spanner to get it. It's just awkward. I mean, that is stupid. So you can see you have to get that right there. And I don't think you can get it from here. So how are you supposed to get this out?
Never working on this bike before, I very quickly realized this was a pop rivet.
Got it. There she is. Right, here we go. My only concern is that there are two different colors, and I'm gonna have to get somebody else to obviously paint this, put it in a paint booth. Just sounds expensive, so we will see. So, as for this, it looks like somebody's tried to make some type of repair. They've done a pretty good job, I gotta be honest. It's solid, it's not going anywhere. And the rest of the fairing is looking pretty good from what I can see at the moment. But whatever they use is solid, they ain't going nowhere. So I don't think I'm gonna have to buy fresh fairings. All right, got one side, and now I gotta do the other side, and then we can get the front fairing off. So let's do it. Apart from a little crack here on this panel, right there, if I've got this in a frame, this needs fixing, and it looks like this little corner here is a little bit cracked. I have got plastic welder on the way, so I think I'm going to try it with that and see how that goes. If not, I might have to buy new ones. I hope not, because they're expensive. Almost there. I can't believe I only had this like, I don't know, a few hours and I'm already literally almost stripped it down. But that's okay. It's going to give me access to clean it and detail it and make it look awesome. Anyway, let's go. Front fairing.
I've decided to remove the front mudguard first, so I could polish it off the bike, giving me better access all around. This also made it much easier to remove the front nose cone off the bike.
Now, to get these nose cone or the front fairing off, it looks to me like this little, I think they call it the ram air system or the induction, whatever. You know, this is where the air goes in. So, to get that off, I think you have to take all of these bolts out and then you can start working your way back. I'm gonna try and take this off and see if I can loosen this. The main thing I don't want to do is break anything because the more I break, the more it's gonna cost me.
And remember, this bike isn't getting full restoration, so keeping everything original is key.
Okay, I tried to take it off, but it looks like there might be a bolt from the inside going onto this part. So all of these bolts here have been removed. So what I'm going to do now is take the wing mirrors off and also the front of this, which will be 2 bolts here and a couple bolts on each side here. And then I will be also able to take this part off. It's almost coming off actually. And then I think we should be nearly there. And then hopefully I can get to that bolt down there. So let's start taking that off.
Oh, and by the way, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider to subscribe and support the channel.
I just want to show you something, just to show you how new this bike really is. 2,200 miles. If you look at these bolts, unless somebody has taken it out and actually put grease on them, which I doubt that someone's actually gone through the effort to do this, I'm pretty sure that this is still the original grease from the factory. Like, apart from it being dirty and dusty, it actually doesn't look that bad. It looks like a brand new bike. So I guess we'll see. We're just gonna have to keep taking stuff off and see how we get on. Okay, next, these bolts right here, holding the entire front headlight assembly. And also we've got bolts down here for these covers. And it looks like the entire front end is actually held with that plastic in mind being there. So I'm gonna have to take this plastic out and then take these bolts out. And I think that should free it up. And actually, there's another one up here, but I'm not sure if that's for the clocks or for that. So let's take these out and then we'll see where we are. All right, I've taken them off. It looks like it's just come out the air duct. I'm not gonna pull on it anymore because I don't want it to drop on me. But this part here should also pull out, and then that should free up the whole thing theoretically. I'm gonna have to quickly just disconnect all of the lightning connectors and everything else, which I think, looking at it, I'll be able to access just from here. So looks like there's only two. Yeah, so let's check these out.
This actually ended up being just a one connector, and then the entire fairing just came out as one piece. Here is all the stuff. I had to leave last night because it was a little bit too late. Next thing, I gotta take the exhaust off so I can get to all of the bolts here, and also it will help me when I'm cleaning the entire bike. And I think I'm gonna take this off as well. So you can see here that these have actually cracked. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet. And this one here seems like it's been repaired before. So I'm assuming when this has been taken apart before, because this has been replaced once already, when this was being put back together, it snapped. Or it may have snapped when the bike was dropped. I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna have to take this apart anyway. I ended up stripping the entire front fairing, removing all the plastics and all the air ducts, including the front headlights, just to get it ready for the body shop.
Right, next job, we're gonna get this oil feed or oiler for the chain out. Now, it's actually coming up to here. So I think I'm gonna have to take the entire rear piece off to actually access this. And also, there's already quite a lot of oil buildup around here. So what I wanna do is just clean everything up, and then at least I know it's done properly. So let's take this rear end off.
The entire rear fairing actually came off pretty easily. It was just 4 bolts on the side and a few pop rivets, and then the whole panel slid off. After removing the seat lock cable, it was completely free.
Okay, I've taken it off. Here is the Scott oiler. Now, the problem is, I've tried to see where this actually is going, and it seems like it's going here into the carburetor, which is creating a vacuum to push that oil in and onto the chain. Now, the problem I've got here is if I take this out, I'm gonna have to blank that off somehow. And I'm not too sure currently how to do that because I've never come across one of these. So I'm gonna have to look at the parts diagram and see what kind of screw or some blanking cap goes in there. So I'm gonna leave that for now. Next thing I need to take off is the rear mud guard because it needs to be polished out, and it gives me extra access to get in there and clean everything up.
This side, easy. The other side, well...
This bolt is really rusty. Okay. It's so rusty, I'm not going to be able to do much with that. I'm going to have to try and knock it out. So all you got to do on these is make sure that the little arrow is pointing on left like so. And then just stick it onto the screw. And then just smash it with a hammer. And try not to smash everything else around it. This is going to be a fun one, this. something. There we go. It's just having the right tools on the job. That bolt is definitely getting replaced. So in theory, that should be it. And then just remove this bracket later. And then I think I'm just gonna paint it black just to get that rust off. And that gives me a chance to clean everything in there. It's not too bad actually. But obviously any extra space that I can get to get everywhere and clean it up helps. So yeah. But I'm super excited because it's looking like a proper project now. Everything, as you can see, is on the floor. I'm gonna have to send a lot of this stuff on to paint. In the next video, we are going to be doing some detailing on the frame and all of the parts there so they can go ready to go back on a bike. And when the rest of the fairings here, we can start putting it back together. Yeah, thanks very much for watching, and please continue to support the channel, subscribe, like, share, all that sort of good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.